Today I'm talking about 3 Korean horror films from the aughts, all featuring this incredible actor. I've seen him a number of times prior to this, and he's again really good here. Anyway, the names of the 3 films that I am talking about today are The Host, Thirst, and Antarctic Journal. First up is The Host. This is a 2006 monster movie, and the basic premise is just a metaphor for why we shouldn't let companies pollute. And it's really good. The monster was really good. It was really cool that we saw him right away, and then he went into the shadows, kind of reverse of what normal horror movies do. I loved the main actor. He gave a great performance, and I loved his characterization too, because he's kind of like a deadbeat loser dad, but then he steps up when the time calls for it. I also really love the ending. I wasn't expecting that, and I think it worked really well. I will say this one is definitely geared toward Western audiences. I think that was very intentional. Like, the first scene of the movie is in English, and there's more than one white actor, so I think this was made with the intention to show it to Westerners, which is probably where some of my enjoyment came from. Oh, and the special effects are a little dated, but like, it's not that bad. It's not egregious by any means, so it's easy to look past. But yeah, it's just an all-around really solid movie. Good horror, good story, interesting characters. Yeah, checks all the boxes. It's great. Next up is Thirst. This is a 2009 vampire movie, and the basic premise is this priest decides to maybe kill himself, but ends up getting a blood transfusion that's maybe vampiric, and the movie just deals with the fallout of that. And it's fine. I definitely want to give this movie another shot, just because there are lots of things about it that I definitely enjoyed a lot. It just didn't quite work for me on the day of. In particular, I thought the movie was wrapping up, but we were actually just at the halfway point. So I'm like, this movie's way too long, but it's only 2 hours, so it's not like a long movie by any means. I don't know exactly what it is about it other than it just felt like we were further along in the story than we were. I will say though, I really loved the female lead of the movie. She gave a great performance, but I thought that character was really interesting and kind of unhinged in a really fun way, and I wish we would have gotten a bit more of her. Like, I kind of would have preferred it if she had been the main character. Like, a priest becoming a vampire is interesting, but she's just got so much more going on. I think I kind of almost would have preferred it if the roles would have been reversed, of like, she becomes a vampire right away, and then at the halfway mark, the priest gets tempted into becoming a vampire. I do think the end made sense and worked, though I think I would have preferred a different ending. I don't know. With all that said though, I would still recommend this one. This could just be a me on that day thing of it just didn't work for me, that on another day it would work better. So if you like a good vampire story, check it out. I think it's worth a watch. Even though it didn't work the best for me, I still liked it. I think there's a good chance that you will like it more than I did. And lastly is Antarctic Journal. This is a 2005 suspense thriller horror film, and the basic premise is essentially just a Gire Wrath of God, except instead of going down the Amazon River, they're walking across the Arctic. They're a Korean expedition trying to make it to the South Pole Point, something that hasn't been done in like 100 years, and they all slowly go mad. This one didn't work for me for a number of reasons. I think kind of the main one is that it felt like they were setting up for things to be supernatural, but they weren't, though they sort of were. Like, I kind of figured that it was going to be like, it's just going to seem supernatural, but it's actually all in their heads and they're just all going crazy, which I think it was. But there are other things that were like more so solidifying the crazy. Like, early on in the movie, they were eating a snow cake thing, and they zoomed into inside the cake, and there was suddenly an eyeball in there, and I'm like, well, that's something. No one's seeing this right now. This is just for us, the audience. But I don't think it really panned out. I did think the movie was interesting. It didn't quite work for me. It's a slow, quiet movie, which I do like at times. This one was just a little too slow, quiet for me. So yeah, I still liked it, but I wouldn't recommend it. Alrighty, now for today's rankings. First up, we got The Host, sitting number 55 in the really like section. The really like section's very big. And then after that is Thirst, sitting number 110 in the liked category. Exactly, double it. That's funny. And then bringing up the rear is Antarctic Journal at number 129, also in the liked category. And this is a total of 165 old movies so far this year.